Hi everyone, it's Chenso from Reality Art Pod, here to rank the Big Brother 28 players based on where they stand in the game as of the end of the week 1 Thursday Live Eviction episode. This week we saw Dee's HOH end with Taylor and Ashley on the block, with Ashley evicted unanimously. We did not get a new HOH in that episode, so a lot is up in the air. Before I dive in, links in the description to my playlist to catch up on my previous recaps and last ranking. If you like the video, consider liking, subscribing, and posting your ranking in the comments. Firstly, this week, we lost Velociraptor, who thought it ate when it killed Rachel. However, Rachel was saved by the unlocked hosts, who traveled through time to save her, so Velociraptor's accomplishments are null and void, and he's been dead for millions of years, which really sucks. We lost Rachel, who came into the season hot, making alliances on night 1, even a final 2 with Jason, but her confidence got the best of her when she made a cocky speech, which attracted the raptor, who sent her to her death. Unlike Velociraptor, she is currently living. We lost Ashley. Had she stayed, I was prepared to rank her last place. She starts the week losing that first challenge, which was so bad. When she couldn't add up 4 single-digit numbers, I started losing faith in her. She kind of just hangs out. Sometimes she's nowhere to be found, especially when people are talking game. She was way too passive, allowed the game to get away from her. When she started playing Wednesday, she tanked her chances by spreading way too much information, showing she couldn't be trusted or worked with. In 16th, I'm putting Haley, who last week was 12th. Haley starts the week talking crap about Rachel in the diary room. She loves to talk about people in the DR, even laughing at Melody and Ashley's expense when they were at risk. And that bad energy sticks with her when she moves around the house. I honestly think she probably had such weird bad energy in her audition, they felt they had to cast her. Angela and Dee especially don't like her. I've even heard players saying they hate her. She's public enemy number 1 coming into week 2, and she has no idea, which explains this low placement, though she is allied with the strongest physical players in the house, so there's some chance she can be safe this week. But in most situations, she's on the block and going home this week if she doesn't win a competition. I did enjoy her sitting Ashley down last night and telling her she needs to basically stop talking. It was giving Tyson telling Coach to stop wearing his feathers to tribal council. I personally hope she keeps up the villainy because she's giving old school Big Brother, toxic villain, but it's terrible for her game. In 15th, I have Haley's friend Chuck, who last week was 17th. I was not loving his plan to work with the women and have a showmance, but he didn't even accomplish his plans. He starts the week off winning safety, which was great for him as it kept his name out of conversation. He quickly makes an alliance with Haley and Kamu. He's teamed up with some of the best competitors in the house, and they're shields for him. If they're nominated, he can probably survive at least 1 vote, or maybe not. He's not doing well. In 14th, I have Yash, who last week I also had 14th. He was nominated by the time the feeds came on, so we didn't see exactly what happened, but him not reminding Dee that she promised him safety was a mistake, though I could see why he would just assume he was saved after she told him he was safe. He runs a consistent campaign throughout the week, and his calm campaign paid off when one of the other nominees, Ashley, crashed out. I like that he was able to save himself in the blockbuster. Now he's off the block, and he's kind of a middle player who could float by a little bit, but he still isn't a major player in alliances, and will end up going home if he's on the block against someone just more popular than him. In 13th, I have Mallory, who last week I put 15th. In the premiere, we saw Mallory wanting to be friends with Lyric, and she did achieve her goal, but it was weird that the show never followed up on that in a meaningful way. She made that terrible plea to Dee to not get nominated that made me lose a lot of faith in her as a player, and she was going to go home if she faced a vote this week, but she saved herself and whooped everyone's butt in that POV competition. I had to put her above Yash because she kicked his ass in that veto, and I believe she would have beaten him at this blockbuster, and she's got real allies. She's on Rome's side of the house. I think she can skirt by for a while, but I currently am struggling to see her taking control in the game. In 12th, I have Melody, who last week was 13th. When feeds came on, Melody was distancing herself from Mallory, which was really the start of Melody's story in the game. Through that, she made herself look shady and disloyal. For a good portion of the week, she was Dee's replacement nominee, and she had no idea. She's got haters in the house. Angela says she's the most boring person in the world, but she still has supporters. She's tight with Drew, and that friendship can help her to be saved from a crossover HOH. She's got her girls, the 4 Seasons Alliance, and a good mind for the game. I liked that she reminded Dee that she promised her safety, which seems like the obvious thing to do, but Yash didn't do that. I can't place her much higher right now because she's currently one of the juicier targets on her side of the house. In 11th, I have Kamu, who last week was 10th. Kamu makes quick allies with Haley and Chuck, and does a terrible job hiding it. These 3 are an obvious trio of physical threats. It's a problem the other players need to address. All week long, he hangs out with the red corner, more specifically just Chuck and Haley. Sometimes he branches out or talks to Dee. He is a decently social guy. He seems smart and can win competitions, but he will likely go on the block with his friends soon. I have him much higher player than his friends because he's playing the best game of the three. D really likes him, and I think D sees their friendship as an investment in her own future. He will obviously be going on the challenge after this. What would Johnny Bananas do? He would make sure he has a long-term business relationship with Gamu. D even said she has a true loyalty to him and likes him more than Chuck and Haley, so I expect her to want to keep him around at least longer than them. In 10th, I'm putting Taylor, who last week was 7th. She started the week having a brush up with Devins right when he came in, which we didn't see, and I don't think was really a big deal at all. We're left to assume that she didn't really talk to D before nominations, which I guess is enough to get you on the block. She played the first few days all wrong. She should have been friendly to everyone and talked to the HOH, though throughout the week, she showed she knew what was going on. She was one of the big pushers that D should renom one of the players who didn't play in the competitions, which helped to keep her allies safe and got Ashley on the block. She's made allies and comes into this week someone I think will be spared from nomination and not targeted for a minute. In 9th, I have Rome, who last week was 8th. He wins safety in the premiere, which afforded him some time to start a side of the house. His side of the house is formed, but not very organized. And it's not organized because he's the leader, or one of the leaders of the group, that includes Jason, Lala, Taylor, Lyric, Mallory, Melody, etc. But he's not focusing on getting his group together because he's very invested in his showmans with Lyric. At this point, he cares more about Lyric than he cares about the game. He has relationships with the other side of the house too, and if he was paying more attention, he would see that the icons are pitting them against each other, with him being one of the biggest targets on his side. But right now, he's not seeing anything besides Lyric's forehead in bed. In 8th, a big fall for Jason from 2nd last week. As my #1 newbie player, he won that safety in the first challenge and somehow got HOH-itis during his reign as safe. Lying for no reason and messing with Angela and Devins was no good. What's worse is he told people he was using his mom's death against Angela and using Devin's daughter's birthday to manipulate him, and it got back to them. That's so bad. He doesn't even know it got back to them. Yikes. I had him lower in this ranking, but moved him up because there are positives. He has half the house that won't nominate him. They see him as a leader. He's close with a lot of people. He has supporters, and this twist could benefit him. There's a chance that he gets the first power from the Drag Race fandom voting, and he'll definitely get a power. If he opens up to someone who's about to nominate him about his secret, he could use his power as leverage to keep himself safe, which is a strategy that the other icons can use as well. We'll see how he acts when he's not safe or when he has real power. In 7th, I have Latrice, who last week was 5th. I didn't love how openly against the returnees Latrice was on multiple occasions in the premiere, but I'm happy she wasn't nominated and didn't seem like a serious contender to be nominated ever. Going on the block week 1 would have been terrible for her. This week, she was able to make friendships and alliances and finds common ground with other players who are like-minded in wanting to go against the vets and against the red corner. She forms Mama's Angels with Jason and Rome. Through having a strong side of the house, strong bonds with these guys and Taylor, she's in an okay position. I'm happy she's playing the game early, though she's annoying Haley, which could get her on the block if red corner wins HOH. I think she'll be okay. In 6th, I have Lyric, who last week was 3rd. Lyric is a tough player to rank because, firstly, she's so wrapped up in the showmans with Rome and making out all over the house, so that's the worst thing she's up to. But she's got a lot of good too. People really want to work with her. She's in a few groups. She's on the side of the house with Rome, and within that group, she's got her girls, 4 seasons, and Rome is a huge shield that is probably going to fall on his sword for her at some point. She goes through the week being either underestimated or overlooked by the other players. I never hear anyone strategizing against her. I think she'll be capable of a lot in the game, especially after Rome is evicted. In 5th, I have Devins, who last week was 4th. He joins up with the other icons early in the week, and he's in the crossovers, but for the most part, he keeps a very low profile in the house. If you catch him on the feeds, it's either in a huge group or a one-on-one conversation, probably with Drew or Barrett. The low-key approach is maybe not working as intended. I have him the lowest of the crossovers because he's the one the other side consistently say they're coming for. I don't think it'll happen this week, but I think he could end up on the block in the pre-jury, though I'm still confident he can save himself in a competition. The other players really should not allow him to get to a point where he's given an advantage from America, but they will. In 4th, I have Barrett, who last week was 6th. I don't love that he lost the first challenge, but didn't say he was throwing it. As a super fan, he really should have tried harder at that, but he makes strong strategic choices, getting in good with the icons, which as a fan of these shows, he should expect them to be getting help from America and production, especially to get them through the pre-jury. He's still not as close to the other side of the house as I'd like him to be, but he's playing this floater game for now and will be protected when his side of the house gets all of the advantages. In 3rd, with a big jump up, is Angela, who last week was 9th. I was worried about Angela managing her reputation heading into this, but she made pleasant introductions. She keeps her team safe from have-nots in the challenge, which I think did go a long long way. As someone who was going to be safe no matter what this week, she had all the benefits of Dee's HOH without the responsibility of nominating people. She made friends with everyone in the house, made them love her, and she has been focused. She is so tempted to bring back old Angela, but she fights it in a way that should be rewarded in this ranking. The lows of the week were the way the other players are messing with her and testing her patience, Jason lying to her, got back to her, and she was upset, rightfully so. At least she melts down in private and gives herself pep talks while looking for vanilla extract in the storage room. She remains in the Crossovers Alliance, the most powerful alliance in the house, and she will be getting a power, so there's good chances she could be number 2 or number 1 someday. In second, a giant leap for Drew, who last week I had 16th. I had low hopes for Drew. In the premiere, he was annoying Melody. However, when the feeds come on, he's an absolute delight, a social butterfly. He even gets along swimmingly with Melody. He's a reality TV fan who recognized the 3 vets, which helped him to get in good with them. So he's in Crossroads, but he's got connections all over the house. He had some trouble with Dee and Angela being suspicious of his rat-like tendencies, but he came to them being a rat with a lot of valuable information from the other side, which makes them appreciate him again. He stays all up in everyone's business, which I think is unlikely to blow up on him in the short term. Drew is impressing me. Week 2, I'd like to see him continue to subtly play both sides. I'm curious to see how he plays around the powers. He's got a good handle on things right now. In first, I'm putting Dee, who preseason I also ranked first. Dee was last to arrive, and she did her thing, winning that first competition and becoming the first HOH. She set the tone, making alliances with the visibly strongest competitors, the other icons, and the biggest gamers, then making fair and balanced nominations that still work to her agenda. If you were to write a guidebook for a first HOH, this would be it. She took a back seat in her own decision-making process and left it to this logic, so everyone was understanding of her decision. It wasn't a week without flaws. I don't love that she forgot that she promised her team safety, and I do think she should have kept her team safe and had the 3 groups that she nominated from include Ashley and Barrett, and just nominated Ashley to start. Ashley was never going to win that veto, so Barrett was at no risk. I also think she could have done a better job bonding with the other side of the house, but they aren't planning to target her right away, so she can always work on that, but I think she should. But yeah, overall positive. It's been a delight to watch her on the feeds. I love when she talks to the camera and calls everyone idiots. I hope she can keep up the good work. So there you have my week 1 player rankings. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back on Sunday with the recap of the episode. Let me know in the comments, what are your rankings for this week? I read and respond to every comment. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye.